So I'm waiting a little bit for some people at least to come. I'm very sorry about this one. Just pressed the wrong button one time and everything finished and we had to make a new link. Yes, if you are here and if you can hear me, could you please write anything in chat? Good morning. Good morning. So, is anything okay with the sound? Because I hear from one guy now that some kind of problem. Voice is clear. Great, great, perfect. So, finally we are here. So it's great. Okay. We move to the presentation mode. So this one is presentation mode. I hope you can see the screen. All right. Air conditioners control for smart home. This is one of the most popular topic for our technical support. People asking all the time, like, okay, I understand this lighting, I understand these curtains, I understand how you connect these locks, but how do we connect air conditioners? And then we need to investigate and we need to understand models and many other things. So why is this and how is this working? This is what this presentation is about. Okay, so the plan for this webinar is ways to control, and then AC control methods for user, and then typical questions. And we will go for question and answer. But before that, where to learn more, there is a training which we develop to help sales part for installers and technical part for installers and also business part for installers. So this is the announcement. This is called Smarthome Installer Training. Using this link, you can go and here is the link. I will copy. You can go and see. So if you want like more in-depth training, and we started in June, it will be going for a few weeks. So there is a part for, if in your company there is a like sales part, and then there is technical part. So you will be able to have like in-depth training for these people. Okay, so now let's go to AC options. Like, what kind of AC do we see when we try to connect to smart home? We see these three options mostly. Like, these options, they are maybe 90%. So fan coil is option number 1, and I am in UAE, and in UAE we have fan coil as maybe most common option. But in Europe, for example, you will not see a lot of fan coils, you will see more splits. And splits, they are more simple. So if you want like one room and one room cooling, you will use splits. And VRF you use when you have a bigger project and you have a separate chiller on the street, and then a lot of smart indoor modules inside. So VRF is like the most smart of it, so it is enough only one adapter to connect to all the VRF. And split is like most stupid part of it. So let's see how we connect to different options. So the option which is named fan coil, and this is what we typically have here. So in Dubai, I think most of the thermostats, they are Honeywell, and these are like Honeywell thermostats which are almost in every apartment, almost in every villa, almost in every office. So Honeywell had a lot of money on it, probably. So typical connection is like this. Fan coil has some cool water, so you will need to turn on the valve and water coming. And then you control 3 speeds of the fan, like speed low, speed medium, and speed high. And this is the connection for a typical thermostat, which you will have almost in every home where you will find this district cooling, which is very popular in UAE, at least in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And this is what we do to connect it to the smart home. So what we get is we change this fan coil thermostat, this Honeywell thermostat, we change to the smart thermostat. And smart thermostat is connecting to the system, usually using Modbus or RS485. And mostly up to 10 thermostats you can connect. And then you need another adapter. And you connect this thermostat to the AC. In UAE, this is mostly 220, but sometimes for valves and for fans also, 24 volts is used. 24 volts is like more American option, more what you can find inside Nest, for example. Okay, so this is one of the most common options. So this is what it looks like for the thermostat. So if you look at the thermostat, you see it's like very typical thermostats with nice design. This thermostat is from Citron. But look at here, at the back, what we see is we see this connection. So this small connection is the connection for valve. And next one is the connection for high, medium, low, HML, high, medium, low speeds of fan. And this green one is the connection to the smart system. So we use this RS485 connection. Citron also makes KNX connections, so which we also support. Okay, so is this like okay for you? Is this understandable? So this is what you do when you connect to fan coil. So the next part is, oh yes, we can also use Siemens, we can also use some other brands of thermostats. And Siemens is maybe one of the most popular for many installations. So the Siemens with Modbus inside we can also use. Okay, and there is another option to connect fan coil. It is a little bit more complicated because it does not require any thermostat on a wall. So you can connect only from the application, or from touch screen, for example, on a wall. Here you can see that to any Larnitech relay you can connect the fan coil, and this will be almost the same connection as the connection to the typical thermostat. So you can connect 24 volts, you can connect to 20 to 30 volts here. So this will be the same connection, cool valve and then fan. Also can be heat valve. Okay, and this is what it looks like when we have many. So we have a temperature sensor connecting to this RC12 device, and up to 3 or 4 sometimes ACs you can connect to one relay, and then another relay, another, and so on. So up to the whole building, which can be connected to the smart system. Okay, and CAN bus connects them inside. Now let's move to the split system. So if we have a fan coil, usually we don't have any troubles and any problems. Only when we have a special types, like strange types of valves, for example, like 0-10 volts or 24 volts, so we need to have special device for them. But if we have split systems, we can have a lot of brands, different kinds of brands, and they work very different way. So option number 1 is split systems from Mitsubishi and Daikin. So if you have Mitsubishi and Daikin, we have an adapter called PWAC, and you can connect these adapters to each other using CAN bus and Cat6 cable in a loop, and you connect it directly to the AC. So how you connect it to AC? You use mostly this CN105 connector. So on Mitsubishi you use CN105 or CN92, and on Daikin you can use S21. Okay, so this is what the connection looks like, and there is a small video from Instagram of one of the installers. This is the BWAC, and this is the AC itself opened, and BWAC is just put inside the AC internal module. And this is the connection. So this side is the connection to the Smarthome, and this side is the connection to the AC. And this is CN105. Okay. And this is the guy who installed all this. And this is the schematics, like what it looks like from these guys. Okay, but what if it is not Mitsubishi or Daikin? What if it is a different model? So different kinds of models are supported by Cool Automation, which is one of our partners. And Cool Automation produces different kinds of adapters for different kinds of split systems. So if you use Cool Plug, you can put it inside of the AC, same way, or you can put it nearby somewhere. And up to 10 cool plugs also you connect in a loop, and then you connect to the device called Cooling Hub, which is connected to IP, and we are connected to IP as well. And then we can control this. They support Samsung, they support Hitachi, General, Fujitsu, many other brands. And this is what connection looks like to the AC. So let's say this one is indoor unit, and you connect to indoor unit. Also you can connect at the same time to the wired remote from the manufacturer of the AC. And this is the part in CoolPlug which you connect to the P-bus network, and P-bus is what they call their own Modbus RS485 connection. I see the question, when we replace the thermostat with Smarthome, how to detect the temperature? So all these options, they include detection of temperature. So for example, when you connect the CoolPlug, you get the temperature which is detected by the AC. And AC can have a wired remote with the temperature sensor. AC can have a temperature sensor inside the air intake. And in other options, so for example, in this option, we have here the temperature sensor, and we can put the temperature sensor behind the switch, for example, or we can put the temperature sensor inside the air intake. And in this option, Siemens or Citroen, they have temperature sensors inside. Okay, so I hope I answered on this one. How to detect the temperature? The temperature is detecting in the thermostat or separate sensor or inside the AC. These are the options. And this is the option when we don't have the ability to connect the cable between ACs. So if we have a renovation, it is an option to have a wireless connection for CoolPlugs. So you can connect wireless CoolPlug. I will show it to guys in Instagram. So here is the presentation which we have. And wireless CoolPlug then connects to cooling hub, also up to 10 pieces. And then you connect to the Smarthome system. Okay, so most of the split brands, they are supported by these CoolPlugs, but not all. If split is not supported, you use infrared control. Infrared control is the simulation or emulation of infrared signal which you use from infrared remote of the AC manufacturer. So we have these sensors which are at the same time motion and light level sensors. They are installed on a ceiling and you connect them to the bus directly. And then we have a database of different kinds of air conditioners which we connect to this infrared control. So this is part of the video. So this is the user interface, and the Daikin is being controlled here. So you can not only turn on off, you can set up the temperature. You change the temperature, AC understands this changing of the temperature. And the control is from the sensor which is on the ceiling. This sensor can be two types, a little bit bigger for more simple installation and a little bit smaller if you don't want it to be seen. Okay, so infrared we now see. If we don't have any other options to connect, then we use this infrared, but if AC is compatible with infrared. And then we have VRF, VRV control. VRF, VRV control is sometimes more simple because VRF is smart already. All VRF modules, they have address and they usually have connections between each other or with the external module. So what we need to do is we need to connect to VRF bus. Daikin, for example, Daikin VRF is called VRV usually, and they use the bus called D3net. D3net is one of the popular options to connect different kinds of Daikin ACs together. And other other manufacturers, they use their own bus, but Coolmaster, this is the adapter for VRF, has 8 ports. So all 8 ports, some of them are okay for mid-air, some of them are okay for Mitsubishi, some of them are okay for General and Fujitsu. So like all of the VRF, maybe 99%, maybe not all, are compatible with Coolmaster. So once we connect Coolmaster, we activate the plugin and we see and control all of the ACs at the same time. Okay. And then we have VRF VRE, control in detail. This is Samsung, for example, Samsung VRF. And we have Samsung external module, chiller. And this external module connects to the port number 7. And it has a 2 wires connection. And this is an option for higher, as an example. And higher has also 2 wires connection and connects to L1. This can be a little bit different port speed, for example. That's why they use different options. Okay, so in VRF, up to, in some systems, 32, in some systems up to 64, in some systems up to 128 and 256 even, we use only one Coolmaster to control all ACs. Coolmaster is not a cheap solution, but this is a very good solution for bigger VRF systems. Okay, so these are all 3. So if your system is a little bit different, for example, some systems are called split duct. Split duct systems, they are mostly connected as fan coils. So the difference is that instead of turning on the valve, you turn on the compressor. Okay, so split duct is usually the connection as the fan coil. Almost the same. But some split ducts, they are connected as splits. And if this is a strange type of manufacturer, which is getting OEM from China, for example, and has their own name, usually it's quite hard to control. And then how clients control the ACs. So clients usually use thermostats to control, and they prefer thermostats to control. If you don't have this thermostat, it's not very good if you have elderly people, for example, or people who don't understand what kind of smart home you are using and how to use it. So it's better to have a real thermostat on a wall. It's always better. Also, if, for example, client decides to remove the smart home system, like after, I don't know, 5 years, client can still control using thermostat, because thermostat works not dependent on all other control system. Okay, so thermostat is like more calm solution for client. And then client can use smartphone for with an application, and then voice control, any kind of voice control which is like popular now on the market, like Apple, Amazon, Google. And then client can use one panel to control all zones at the same time. So you can have, for example, the floor plan, and on this floor plan you have the air conditioners placed in different rooms, and each room you can control, set up the temperature, set up the mode, and so on. Another option is to have the climate control, not only AC control, but climate. For example, client can have the AC and then some heating and then some humidity control and also some CO2 control and warm flow control. So we have the option when this room climate control user interface is used, and you just attach and connect different kinds of things, and client just sets up the mode and the temperature which they would like. Okay, so before proceeding to installation, I would suggest for you to make such a spreadsheet, like a small spreadsheet like this, where you understand your type, and you see here like fan coil, BWAC Mitsubishi Daikin split, and infrared control, or VRF control, or split systems control, or maybe some kind of third-party Modbus adapter. It can be Intesis adapter. It can be adapter from the manufacturer. So it can be any kind of adapter for Modbus. And then you show clients that client can control using smartphone, voltage panel, schedules, for example, and thermostat. Okay, so once you have this spreadsheet, you understand yourself, like how and what you plan to control on your site. Plan in a screen, of course, can be customized. You just upload the PNG. So the PNG can be like 3D drawing of the room, for example, or 3D drawing of the floor. So yes, you can customize the floor plan. And these are two guys who help you. Once you have any questions, you can go to Yagor or to Gulam, and they will help you to make a BOQ, and they will help you to describe what we have to your client. So once again, this one, the full-featured training which we prepare now and which will run hopefully in June. So you can go there. Let's make it a link like this. And you can check like what is available in there. On purpose, I made this webinar simple and very short, because previous one about AC connection, it was long and it was harder to understand. So now I hope you can get this message that we can have this simple fan coil connection, and another option we can have split connection, and another option we can have VRF connection. That's it. If you have the model, you send it to us and we tell you whether it is possible to control or we don't know. If we don't know, then the only option you have is to ask guys from AC vendor, so the guys who install ACs on site, what kind of smart home connection they have. So for example, if guys don't have the connection direct to our thermostats, then you can ask them, do you have the adapter for the smart home? So many of them, they have. Okay, so recently, for example, we've been speaking to one site where like very unknown model of AC is working, but they said you can use Dropkick, and Dropkick is the adapter for AC, which is mostly used for Nest, but it is also compatible with us. So if it is compatible with Nest, then it is compatible with Larnitech as well. So Dropkick, if it is compatible with your AC, then you can use it. On another site, there was an option when a client had also unknown AC, but they had also the adapter by the producer of this AC to connect third-party thermostat. So we connected using this one. Okay, so ask this question from the AC vendor. Do you have the smart home connection, like the smart home option? Or at least have infrared. Mostly they work, but not always. Infrared for AC is always a little bit complex. If you don't have it in our database, then there is an option that the infrared for AC will not be compatible. Sometimes they use very long commands. Sometimes they use two-way communication. So this is not 100% thing. Okay, so thank you very much for being here today. Sorry again for this change of link situation. Once you have more questions, please send us the message. About prices and how to optimize the quotation. About prices and how to optimize the quotation, you have to contact with us, because the prices are not freely open, and the prices are open for dealers. So you need to talk to us directly, so we can explain you about prices and give you more information. Okay? Thank you guys very much. Bye bye.